Brad Chandler Coaching presents the Real Estate Investing Hot Seat podcast. Stop working for someone else and get the support you need to make it as an investor. Having been part of over 2,000 deals, Brad Chandler will train you to buy and sell houses without making expensive mistakes. Learn about the good, the bad, and the ugly of investing from experience earned in the trenches as Brad coaches real investors how to find real success.
In this episode, you'll learn 3 magic techniques to get your site ranking on the first page of Google using Google My Business, how to get a free website audit and strategy call with the premier SEO expert for real estate investors, the one thing you should run from when you hear an SEO company say it, and the actual time it takes to get your site on page 1 of Google. The episode you're about to hear was originally recorded and aired during a Facebook Live session. Because of this, there may be references or comments that don't apply to you as a podcast listener. If you're interested in seeing a live episode, we do them every Tuesday on our Brad Chandler Coaching Facebook page. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Take action now by texting the word INVEST, I-N-V-E-S-T, to 855-999-1616 to get your free guide teaching you how to qualify, schedule, and close more deals faster with the advanced agreement, the technique we use to do 20 wholesale deals per month. Welcome, everyone, to the Real Estate Investing Hot Seat Livestream podcast. I want to welcome Keith to the show. Welcome, Keith.
Hi, Brad. Great to be here.
Yeah, so excited to have you. I've known Keith for a while, and if you couldn't tell by the accent, Keith isn't from the United States. Keith, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm in the UK. Most people know where London is. So based about 2 hours drive from London in the middle of the country, right in the leafy countryside here. It's beautiful.
Awesome. I've been to London. I spent a couple of nights in London, a couple of days in London, and it was quite phenomenal. So if you guys want to send some love to Keith all the way over in the UK, hit that heart button. And anytime you like what we say, or if he gives some good information, hit that heart button and share some love with both Keith and I. So Keith, I've got so many questions for you. I've known you for a couple of years. You've worked on our site. Our expresshomebuyers.com site is one of the highest ranked sites, as you know, in the real estate investing space. We generate 600 leads a month from SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, outside of our main markets. We generate hundreds inside our main markets, but we're getting leads from all over the country, and it's directly related to SEO. So I'm a giving guy. We do this podcast to really give back for everything that I've learned, and I know you're one of the best in the business when it comes to generating motivated seller leads online without paying Google a per lead, per lead, right? So Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got here, and what you currently do for real estate investors.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I've been in computing for years and years and years. I'm an old chap, as you can see. I started off in computers in the Royal Air Force back in the 70s when computers were big boxes that filled a room that probably you can put in your pocket now. So I'm way back to those days. And then I worked in IT for several blue chip companies, Barclaycard, Experian, places like that, big companies on database programming and management and things like that. And then I left to start my own business because I could see the potential of helping people myself without all the bureaucracy of working in a blue chip company that you get with the corporate world. And we've just gone on from success to success really in this market. We specialize in the real estate market because we saw that was a good sector to work with. It's also a very tough sector. So we wanted to prove ourselves that we could do that. I've been in SEO for about 20 years now in total.
Wow.
But we've been working in the real estate space with this business. Nigel is my business partner. You've spoken to Nigel. There's me and him and my wife, and we've got a staff of many people who help us do the SEO. And we've been doing that for real estate people for about 3.5 years now.
Awesome. Well, I've got a ton of questions. So if you don't mind, we're going to jump in. And if you're listening, whether you're listening live right now or you're listening on a rebroadcast, type your questions below because I know you guys must have a ton of questions around SEO. Some of them I'll answer. Some of them Keith will jump on and answer. Even if it's weeks later and you're listening to this, if you come across this, type your questions down and we'll love to answer them. We love. So Keith, why is SEO so important for real estate investors?
Okay, well, first of all, Google is a great source of free traffic. You've probably come across paid traffic where you pay Google. So you set up Google AdWords and you type in something like "We Buy Houses San Antonio," for example, and the cost for that is $63.84 a click. And as you know, converting a click to a deal takes a lot of clicks. So it's very expensive to use AdWords. Now, the beauty of Google,
so let me stop you there for a second, just to make sure I understand this. Did you happen to mean $63 for a conversion instead of a click?
No, $63 per click.
That's how much that specific terms cost in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Wow.
So somebody clicks on that term on your advert, your Google advert, it costs you $63.84.
Right. And the ads are the top. If you're on a desktop, they're the top 4 that show, and they have a little button that says ad. And
That's
then everything we're talking about is just below that, the organic.
It's the organic, yeah. And you get some ads below as well. But the middle 10 are the organic results, which is what we focus on.
Okay.
And you don't pay for that per se. When people click on that, they just come straight to your website. It doesn't cost you a penny.
Right.
So
beautiful.
Our aim is to get you in the top 3 for those search terms. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Now, obviously, you've got to use the right keyword phrases, what we call commercial intent keywords. So if somebody's a distressed seller, you've got to obviously get into their head and think what they're going to type in. We know through experience the terms of things like sell my house fast, sell my house quickly, cash for homes, we buy houses. So those terms work really well. But obviously, on a national basis throughout the states, those are quite hard to rank for. But if you rank in your local area, so you tag on something like Boston or New York, San Antonio, then we buy houses San Antonio, rather than paying $63 a click, if you're in the top 3 in Google and someone clicks on your website, it doesn't cost you a cent.
Okay, so why is it so important for real estate investors to do SEO?
Well, you need to do it for visibility for start off, because if you think about Yellow Pages way back in the day, all businesses were expected to be seen in Yellow Pages. They were in the UK anyway. And if you weren't in the Yellow Pages, people thought, well, they're not a very trustworthy business at all. So you had to pay a fortune to have a full-page Yellow Pages advert. Yeah, right. It's the same online with Google. If you don't appear in Google in your area for your business, you're not going to be a trustworthy business. So it's not just about getting leads; it's also visibility and the trust factor.
So I tell my students this all the time. So visibility and trust. If you don't have a website in this day and age, then you don't really have a business. So if you love that, guys, send Keith some love across the pond by clicking that heart button. So how do you get a site ranking?
Well, there are two areas of SEO. There's what's called on-page SEO. I'll try not to be too technical. I'll explain it as best as I can. So on-page SEO and off-page SEO. And simply, on-page SEO is everything on your website, everything you do with your website. And off-page are things like links that you get for your website. Okay. So on-page are things like how fast your site runs. If you've got any broken links, those need to be fixed, because that doesn't bode well with Google. Google, in fact, I don't know if you know this, they have over 200 ranking factors for your website. So it's quite a lot that you have to attend to. But there's about 20 top ones that you need to attend to from the beginning. And if you do those, then that's fine. But despite the technical things you do on the website, you also need to optimize it for your keywords. So like the keywords I was talking about before, we buy houses in your area, you need to make sure those and related keywords are on in your copy, in your content on your website. Now that's the first stage of it, because that optimizes your website. So Google wants to see that your website is all about what you're talking about, and that's the first stage of ranking it for you. Okay, so the best on page you can do, the better, and that's having quality content as well. Lots of content. You can't just put up a basic website nowadays and expect it to rank. You've got to have lots of, as you know yourself, you've got to have lots of quality content that is good for user engagement and informs people about your business.
So Keith, you probably have come across some sites that just get an F rating on the on page that are just a complete nightmare. Broken links, wrong meta tags, the site's really slow. I mean, just countless things. I know you think a lot of Carrot, and I do too. You don't generally see these with Carrot sites. They're set up. They're great from an on page SEO standpoint, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So if you're Go
The
ahead.
technical side of it is great for carrot sites, and they do boilerplate templates for the keywords as well, but they don't do all the keywords, if you see what I mean. And what Google expects, you can't do it automatically because Google expects to see what are called related keywords, so synonyms and things like that. So if you've got "we buy houses" as a keyword, for example, you would also, Google expect you to see homes, "we purchase houses," "we purchase homes," "we buy homes," all different variations of what that keyword could be. And if you weave all that into your content, then you're going to rank higher than your competition, which is what the name of the game is.
So if you guys are sitting here thinking like, well, and I tell this to students all the time, I look at their website, I'll do a website audit. I actually did a website audit of about 10 sites. I think if you go to bradchandler.com/YouTube, that will take you to my YouTube channel and just search website audit because there's some really good information. But I think in that audit, what you'll hear me say a couple of times is, sorry to offend you, sir or madam, but your site's so bad, just go get a carrot site. So if you're sitting here and you've got a bad site or you're new to investing and you're like, okay, I get the value of this. I'm going to get a carrot site. I'm going to call Keith. We're going to get this rolling. Just go to bradchandler.com/carrot and you'll see all that they have to offer. So Keith, my question was, how do you get sites ranking? You talked about how the importance of on quality. Can you talk a little bit about off-page SEO?
Yeah, no problem at all. Just before we do that, I just want to say about the on-carrot sites, the investor carrot sites, they're superb because they've got the domain authority, it's called. So their domain is very powerful. So then you just need to work on your website that's on that platform. And you've got to jump ahead of everybody else by being on a good platform like that. So that's
a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, Keith, is in the SEO blueprint that we're going to give out in a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. Sorry, yeah, I do
Okay.
tend to be technical sometimes. I'm sorry, but it's
no, not at all. You weren't technical. Okay, so then off page, what will you do, or what should anyone be doing to get ranked off page?
Okay, so the first thing to do, if you're in the local area, the first thing to do is to get local links. So you can go look at local directories. You'll have city guides and things like that. You can approach them and ask them to add a link for your website. There are sites called citation sites, which are like Yelp, Yelp.com, and all your local citations.
Right.
Get a link on those. Those are free. They will ask you to get a paid link, but you don't need the paid link. You just need the free link. So that's
and those are just basically like directories, right? Where you're listing your business and you get a link back to your site.
That's right. Yeah.
But what's important about that is the consistency with like your name and your address that Google can see.
Name, address
on one site. You're all over the place. That's important, right?
That's right. Okay. And also, Google My Business is a great thing to set up as well, because the Google My Business results come up first on a mobile phone, a cell phone as you call it, on a mobile device. And I think it's something like 62% of searches are now done on mobile. So you need to be really well optimized on mobile. The beauty of a Google My Business Maps listing is that if you come up in the top 3 on the phone, they click on your name, they can ring you direct from that click, rather than having to go all the way through your website. So that's a really hot lead, and that's a very quick way to get ranking in Google for start off.
Awesome.
And then once you've done that, the next best links are social sites. So Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn. Most people have accounts on those, and it's a case of putting those onto your website because the domain authority of Facebook is 99 out of 100. Google's 100 out of 100, obviously, and LinkedIn is something like 97. So getting those links on your site show that you are trustworthy, and Google sees that as a proof factor. So they'll rank your site higher with those. There's a whole myriad of other links, but if you do those, that is a really good start to get your ranking,
Okay. So I was trying to hold this to the end, but I'm too excited. I can't. So if you guys want to see this after the call, don't go now because we don't want to get you distracted. But if you go to bradchandler.com/SEO, you're going to get, Keith gives away a step-by-step SEO blueprint that shows you how to dominate Google and attract motivated sellers. So Keith, is this something that people can do on their own? All this stuff that you're talking about, can we do it on our own?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. I mean, SEO basically is either time or money. You've got to spend time or you've got to spend money. So, if we do it for you, it's going to cost you money for us to do it because we've got to pay the staff and keep the lights on and everything else.
Yeah.
If you do it yourself, it's time. So if you're starting off as a real estate investor, I would say to start with the blueprint and do it yourself, because also if you do bring in an agency at a later date, as you know, you need to know what SEO is. and whether the agency is doing it correctly for you. There are lots of agencies out there who don't do it the right way, and they'll tell you they are, and they'll give you all sorts of reports that don't mean anything. But if you know about it before you do that, then you're educated and you'll make sure you get a good agency. But, yeah, with a step-by-step blueprint, you can do it all yourself, definitely, or give it to a staff member to do.
That's awesome. Or a virtual assistant, right?
Yeah, or a virtual assistant, even better. Yeah.
So I want to take a brief break, and when we get back, Keith, I'm going to tell them about the story about how we met and how I'd been scammed several times and how we did that whole test. So anyway, I'm going to pause to tell you guys something really cool. I'm offering a select number of people. If you're struggling trying to grow your real estate investing business, you may be interested in this opportunity. At Brad Chandler Coaching, I teach people how to find freedom in their life doing exactly what we do, and that's to invest in real estate without needing money or tons of cash or credit. If you're interested in learning more, you can see all of what my program has to offer by going to bradchandler.com/learn. On this page, you'll find a free training where I discuss how to start and grow a real estate wholesaling business. It doesn't matter what level you're at. I help all level of real estate investors. If you want to learn how to make tens of thousands of dollars wholesaling a house without bank loans or loads of cash, or you want to learn how to grow your existing business, go ahead and watch my free training at bradchandler.com/learn. If you're looking for freedom in your life, this could be the answer. Okay, back to Keith. So Keith, I was one of those people who got scammed repeatedly by pay-per-click companies and by SEO companies. So I don't know if you remember this, but years ago when I called you, I told you that story. And I go, Keith, I'm not signing a contract. I'm not giving you a ton of money. I want you to do a test, a 3-month test. I'm going to give you X amount of dollars. And you said, okay, I can do this in that test. And you actually did that in this test. And you were honest and trustworthy, and you did what you said. And hence that's grown into, a multi-year relationship. So guys and girls, you can do this on your own, or you can go hire a firm. I can tell you though, you better really, really know what you're doing when it comes to selecting a firm. And the only way you're going to do that is to actually learn SEO. As investors, I agree you should go through the free blueprint so you're dangerous enough to know how to select. But as a teacher, I would not, as a mentor, I would not advise you to do this on your own. You guys have so many other things going on in your business trying to grow and scale, and this probably isn't the one. You should leave it to the experts. There's some things you want to do in-house, and there's some things you shouldn't do. You should leave this to someone like Keith and his team. So Keith, how do you differ from the other 1,000 supposed or alleged SEO companies out there?
Yeah, that's a great question, Brad. So, there are lots and lots of SEO companies out there, and you must get emails from them every day. We get emails from them, even though we're an SEO agency, and they can see that. We still get emails saying they can get us to number one for $100 within 2 weeks, which is totally ridiculous because you can't do that. So what we do, we work completely within Google guidelines. That's the first important thing you've got to do. And we have never had a site penalized in all the time I've been working with SEO. And I know a lot of big agencies who've had a sites penalized, by doing the wrong thing, basically, and trying to rush things and trying to game Google. You can't game Google. If you think about it, they've got lots of PhDs sat there watching and seeing what you're doing. And the algorithm, is so perfected now that you can't cheat.
Over the last 20 years, one of the biggest retailers in the United States, they're dying now, is JCPenney. And you probably remember this, 3 years ago? They did some what's called black hat, and we may get to that, we may not. But just things that Google are like, no, you shouldn't do. And they probably knew they shouldn't have been doing them, but they tried to, skate around the system, and they got burned. They got really burned. So
definitely. It was 2013 that when the big Penguin update came out, which is all to do with links, and anybody that had bad links or paid links, those sort of things, they got hit really bad.
So you've never been penalized. Sorry, but you've never been penalized for a site. You've been in SEO for 20 years. Not a whole lot of people can say that. 20 years in SEO.
Well, I'm a techie person, I'm afraid. So as I said, I was in computers from the early days, very early days. So I studied SEO. I knew the business that myself before this. That was basically a register for tradespeople, contractors, if you like. And I used SEO myself on that business to make that work. And it was a very great learning experience because I had to do it all myself. That there were no courses around or anybody to teach you that at the time. So it was trial and error how to do it, and I worked out the way to do it. Nowadays, there are lots of training and Google helps you quite a lot as well with training, so if you follow the Google guidelines, you can't go wrong. But I think one of the unique things that we do that other SEO agencies don't do is they want to charge you lots of money every month. And if you want to build up your keywords more, they'll charge you more money. Now, what we do that's innovative, we get your let's say we take 5 keywords for you. And once we get those onto page 1, we'll then add another 5 keywords at no extra cost, as long as you stay with us monthly.
Right.
So the longer you stay with us, the better the return on investment. As you know, once you've been with us 3 years, you've got 60, 70 keywords ranking on the first page of Google. And yours rank everywhere in the US, so that's a great benefit. And obviously you get much more back for the investment you've put into the SEO.
Absolutely. So before I ask my next question, again, guys, this is for you, the listeners. So if you're listening out there, whether it's right now or on a rebroadcast weeks later, what questions do you have for Keith? Keith is an expert. He could charge thousands of dollars an hour to get on the phone and answer your questions, but he's doing it for free for our tribe today. So what questions do you have? Just type them in the comments. What is it about online lead generation that you want to know? So Keith, how long does SEO take?
Well, if you go with one of the cheap companies, it can take a month, but a month later, your site won't be there anymore. So the proper answer is it takes 3 to 6 months to get onto the first page of Google for medium competition keywords. I couldn't rank you for shoes or anything like that, within 3 to 6 months. But the keywords we're talking about, because we've got a lot of experience with this, like we buy houses and your area, we can get those on the first page of Google within 3 to 6 months. And then it takes another 3 to 6 months to get you in the top 3. And that's where all the traffic is. The main traffic is, as you know. So you're talking 6 to 12 months, really, of investment to get you there. But it's well worth the investment because when you're there, you stay there. Whereas when you switch off your AdWords or your Facebook ads, they disappear completely,
So guys, that's the one thing, send some love to Keith on that point because it's really important. If you get an email or you hear someone that says, we can get you on the first page of Google, in 60 days, it's a complete lie, or 30 days. And if you're there, your site can be banned afterwards because, again, if you do these what's called black hat techniques that Google does not like, they'll penalize you, and they'll penalize you in a big way. And I think, Keith, you've actually worked with people who got penalized, not on your dime. Like they got penalized and they came to you. And it sometimes takes, over a year to fix their sites and clean up everything?
Yeah. One client, it took 18 months to recover their site, and all the experts told me we wouldn't be able to recover it, but I saw that as a challenge. So I told the client, let's build another site as well, so you've got another site that's going to rank, and let's sort of redo this site for you and get rid of all the penalties. And you have to go to Google and ask them to remove the bad links, and that takes forever to do. But also you're holding your hand up saying that you've done these bad links, which they don't like, but they do repay you with that if you're honest with them. And you say, well, look, it was another company that did this, but it can take 6 to 12 months for them to remove the bad links. So, and then obviously you've got to rank it back up there.
So Keith, I get asked quite a bit from students and potential students and just investors in general, the ROI question. What can I expect to get a return on my money? And that's a hard question to answer. How do you answer that when you get that question?
Okay, so you've got to think, if you're waiting 3 to 6 months for the SEO to kick in, obviously you're just putting money in and you're not getting anything back out. So, let's say you pay $3,000 a month in SEO. Yeah. And it takes 3 months to get your first deal from a lead. Okay. So you've spent $9,000 and you've got nothing back. But if you do a deal and let's say you generate a 20K profit, then that gives you a net profit of 11,000. So it's well worth it. And obviously the longer you keep SEO running, the more deals you're going to get. Okay. So what I suggest to people is to start with a paid ad, a Google AdWord campaign on the same keywords for the first 3 months in conjunction with the SEO, so that you're getting deals straight away, leads straight away from the AdWords. You're having to pay for them, obviously, but you only need one of those to turn into a deal and you're generating profit then. And then, in 3 to 6 months, you can either stop your Google AdWords and just have your SEO, so you save all that money on AdWords, or like a lot of people do, keep the AdWords going because you're going to get twice as many leads. I'll give you twice as many deals. So if you gave me $1 and I give you $2 back every time, you'd give me $1 every day, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So that's another gold nugget that Keith just dropped. So click some heart buttons or click the thumbs up button and let Keith know that was an awesome idea. So and that idea is doing PPC in concert with SEO until you're able to get those SEO keywords ranking. Keith, have you had a student where, or student's not the right, I've got my head student because I'm a mentor. Have you had a client who has invested $9,000 and gotten a deal in that first 90 days from SEO?
Yeah, I've got plenty of those actually. And one of the big things that we do for clients is a Google My Business. I keep going on about that, but it's so much easier to do that if it's done properly. And just to, as an aside now, Google My Business has three things. So there's a profile, there's reviews, and there's the links that you do. Okay, so the profile we do for that for the client, we set that up, get photos, get your name and address and phone number all set up properly, your business hours, fill the profile up out to 100% because Google expect that, okay? And then we build the links, which is citation links, and we do those. And then we tell the client to get as many reviews as possible and add those reviews. And those three things are the magic that get you in the top 3 in Google My Business within 2 to 3 months rather than 3 to 6 months. And as you know, 60% of traffic uses mobile now. So it's brilliant because someone types in, sell my house quickly at New Orleans, they click on it and they ring you straight away. And that is a hot lead because they haven't even looked anywhere else. They just say, can you sell my house for me? And it's over to you to convert that into a deal.
Amazing stuff. And you're giving this all away for free, the step-by-step SEO blueprint, by just going to bradchandler.com/SEO. Why are you giving this, all this? Because I've looked at it and it's quite impressive. Why are you giving this all away for free, Keith?
Okay, well, obviously we've got something behind that afterwards. So the free blueprint, the step-by-step blueprint, is enough to get you started and get you going and get you ranking and get you some leads, especially the Google My Business one. You can do that yourself, no problem whatsoever, okay? But after that, there's a lot. As I said, there are 200 ranking factors in Google. So you need to know extra things, advanced tactics and advanced things that you do. They're all above board and within Google guidelines, but there are extra things that will propel you to the top everywhere, like you are, and that's a paid course. That'll be a paid course monthly, but it'd be a lot less than you would pay an SEO agency for your SEO. So you could then actually give that to a VA, as we discussed, a virtual assistant to do for you. So pay a virtual assistant monthly to follow this paid course step by step, and that's your SEO done for you.
Yeah, you've told me the price. And I think it's too low, the monthly price. It's amazing. But is in the free step-by-step SEO blueprint guide, can they actually figure out how to set up the Google My Business, those 3 things that you talked about?
Yeah, all of that, and the website and the basic links and everything. You've got everything in the free course to get yourself ranking in Google.
Guys, I mean, that content, I got to tell you, it's amazing content that Keith and his team has provided. And again, he's giving it away for free at bradchandler.com/SEO. So go have a field day with that. And then for literally, it's way too cheap, but a monthly charge, he'll actually give you everything, literally everything you need to hand it over to a VA. And then finally, Keith, I know you provide this service. If the person's just like, I don't even want to hire a VA, I don't want to mess with it. Well, you do it. You'll do the whole kit and caboodle for everyone, right?
Definitely, yeah. What we do is we ask you to give us your website and your details. Just fill out a discovery form, and we do a website audit for you for free. We don't charge for that. A lot of agencies charge for that, just to show you where your site sits and what it needs to do. Okay, if it's an Investor Carrot site, you're fine. There will be some little things that need doing, but you're way ahead with Investor Carrot. But if you've got your own website, not on Investor Carrot, the website audit is crucial, and companies charge up to $1,000 for that audit. So we offer that for free. And then we do a free consultation call, which you get a chance to talk to me. And I just discuss your business with you, ask you what your goals are and which market you're trying to work in, which area and everything else. And I can give you a professional opinion of what you need to do and how long it'll take you to do it. And then if you want us to do it for you, we'll just take you on board and then we'll charge you monthly and get you the great results.
Amazing. So you give away a free website audit that could cost upwards of $1,000. You give a free call that again could cost $500 to $1,000. And they can find this all. Go to bradchandler.com/SEO, fill out your email address. When they send you the information, just simply reply to Keith and say, hey, Keith, I heard you on the podcast. I want that free website audit. I want that free call. It's that simple, right, Keith?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and we're nice and friendly as well, as you can see. You know, we're not a massive company, so we don't charge you the $5,000, $10,000 that a lot of the SEO companies charge. We charge a substantial amount, you know, because we need to do the work. But we're always on hand to talk to you as well. A lot of the clients, especially in the first month or so, you know, they'll reach out to us by email or just say, "Can we jump on a quick call on Skype or Zoom?" And we do that because, you know, we want to create relationships, and we've got a great reputation in this market, and it takes a lot of hard work to do that. And obviously we live by our reputation, you know.
You do have a great reputation, because I don't deal with anyone that doesn't have a great reputation. I know I've referred you to countless people, and I know they're happy with you. So I'm going to ask one more question. And for the listeners out there, what questions do you have for Keith? And I'll bounce over there in a second to see what questions, because I can't see on the screen, but what questions do you have for Keith on dominating online marketing? My last question, Keith, is how Google's the biggest search engine. We all know that. Is it worth ranking on Yahoo and Bing? And if so, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Yeah, well, obviously Google's definitely the biggest. It corners about 78% of the market, which is massive. And it is just the biggest player in the world. And I can see Facebook maybe catching up to them, or maybe Apple. I think Apple are doing a search engine as well in the near future, so that'd be interesting. But Bing and Yahoo share about 20%. So if you rank with Google and you get Yahoo and Bing, you've got 98% of the market. Now, Bing and Yahoo aren't as difficult to rank in, and they have less restrictions on ranking your site. And you might think it's not worth doing that, but we do that in addition to Google, because that 20%, if you just get 1 or 2 leads a month from that, it's well worth it. You know, you might as well have that traffic. You know,
and Keith, what we found out is our target customer is typically an older demographic, and the older demographic, you know, a lot of times aren't web savvy. So when they buy a new computer, especially a PC, it's already comes with, you know, Bing on there, and they don't know how to change it to Google. So we've done a lot of deals over the years with Bing. So awesome information. I can't believe how much stuff you're actually giving away for free, but you're awesome, and that's why I have you on today's show. So everyone, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you'd like to get my free training on the step-by-step process we took to make $33,750 on a townhome we never bought or renovated, simply go to bradchandler.com/results. Remember, it is possible for you to leave your job and get the freedom you deserve in your life through real estate investing without needing money to buy or renovate the homes. Myself, my students, and countless wholesalers around the U.S. are living proof. Okay, Keith, thanks again for being a guest on my show.
Thank you for listening to this episode. It's now time to take action. Text the word INVEST to 855-999-1616 and get a free guide teaching you how to qualify, schedule, and close more deals faster with the Advanced Agreement, the technique we use to do 20-plus wholesale deals per month. Also, go to bradchandler.com/podcast to apply to be a guest on this podcast. You'll receive a 30-minute coaching session with Brad, a $1,000 value for free.